All right, so I can only handle so many cars in my life, right? You've watched me do this before where I ended up with 5 cars and then they're all dirty and I'm freaking out because I can't handle, at one point I had my entire wash bay filled with GT350 parts, Honda S2000 CR parts, some M3 parts. I had wheels, tires, it's stuff everywhere. It seemed like a good idea at the time. Like I'll just go ham and just get everything at once. You've seen me do that with the Z06 where I bought every part, and then in the M5 at the same time. So I go on these projects where I do too much and I can't handle it. This obsession thing is real. And so Bryce came up with this idea of, why don't we just do some projects to cars that aren't yours, right?
Yeah, so you don't have to wash them, if they're broken down the road, I'm calling my insurance company to go pick me up, not you or anything. So
somehow I've ended up, and I have the Civic, but that'll be short-lived, so that's a project. The Civic is in Boston right now getting the stereo done, and then we'll be going down to St. Pete to get the engine done, but it'll be coming back here in the short term to do the suspension. But we have some projects coming up on S550 Mustang, which is Jeff's. We have Kyle's R34, we don't call it a GTI.
Golf R.
Golf R, thank you. I always get that one confused, generations and all that. We have, and we have your ND Miata, right? And so tell me about what we're doing here. This is a CravenSpeed.
So this is a CravenSpeed short shifter kit with the shift well, basically instead of a boot, it just has a solid well.
So we could do this without this if you wanted to?
Yeah, you can. You can do that without it, and it comes like a little foam piece over here. You just put your regular shift boot on it, and what this does is it creates a 30% reduction, and it's more of a super mechanical type of feel. Since it's already kind of mechanical, since this is already like a direct into transmission, there's like no weird linkage thing that's running to the transmission. This is just goes straight in. So it's pretty easy. You have to just pull out the center console and pop it in, put in this little spacer between the transmission, and there's like a little housing that goes over it.
Yeah.
And this is all the same length. It's about only 1/8 inch shorter than the actual stock one, so you're not like all the way down goofy.
Yeah, that was like a thing, years ago where you'd want a short
short throw shifter.
It's weird, yeah. And so people, companies have come around to that over the years, over the last couple of decades, of actually just making an OE-like shifter, but with a better feel, right?
Yeah.
And so, your car doesn't have a particularly bad feel as it is, and so this, I'm assuming, is a sort of a minor upgrade. What does this thing cost?
So this shifter alone, they sell as $350 on their website. So CravenSpeed.com.
And then another $100-something bucks for this.
I think it's like $150 for this little transformation kit.
All right, so let's start tearing this thing apart. And you say it's easy, but remember, we don't say that here.
It's a bad thing.
We don't say that here because you know what that means. That means a lot of non-F words are said. They're said in my head, rather than live. So let's get to work.
Yep, let's go.
So don't lie to me. How many times have you watched their install video? So
I didn't even watch a video. I looked at the thing, like the little PDF, and I was like, where does that O-ring go? I'm like, we're going to have to figure that out as it goes along, because there's like a couple of O-rings. Surprisingly, this stock shift knob,
it's gotten way too
pretty good.
Yeah.
What the heck?
I don't love how small the
pattern thing is.
Yeah, but yeah, it's weighted. It's nice.
Yeah, I was like, I thought.
And this is actually aluminum, not plastic.
Nice little kit. But once you have the shift knob off, you want to go ahead and get your bezel out.
You're about to break something.
Oh,
it's coming.
I guarantee it. It looks like there's something broken right now.
Just wait.
Now there's going to be 2 Phillips head screws in the front here. So you want to go ahead and make sure you remove these. And then once those are out, you can go to the back of the center console back here and pull up just a little bit to get the clips out. And then in their instructions, they say there's 2 clips up here in the front that are very fragile, so just don't hulk them off. Just kind of give it a light pop off, like that. And there's going to be some wires underneath here for your little command dial. There's a little clip. There is an e-brake boot little catch here. It's like a hook. You have to unhook this, which is not easy apparently. whole thing comes out like that. Pretty easy so far.
Where are the plugs? Plug
Oh
one
yeah,
right
there's
here.
a plug up there. So there's that, and then there's like a little, on the boot loop right there, there's like a little hook.
That holds this.
Yep. It's actually right here on your shifter. So you want to pull this up as far as you can so you can slide that whole center console off. Now we're pretty much ready to start tearing into this here. So we got our Milwaukee 1/4-inch ratchet brushless. So we're going to take out these 4 10mm here, and this should allow us to remove this boot and move it up over this shifter. So
it's like I'm gonna have to force myself to, like, you know,
stop grabbing. Like,
I'm so used to not having any of these tools, you know, and so my whole life I've had to just use some crappy, you know, Craftsman.
Yeah.
Not that Craftsman's crappy, but just, you know.
It's like, you know, that's what everyone starts out with.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't have any of this fancy stuff, so I'm not used to using it. I just got to force myself.
Yeah, this worked great.
I think this 1/4-inch extended reach will be one I'll be using more than anything.
Yeah, because we don't really do much like really big bolt stuff unless we're doing exhaust.
Yeah.
So.
And then you probably wouldn't use this because these only have like 40 foot-pounds of torque.
Mm-hmm.
Lift the bulk of the boot up.
Just rip it up like that.
Well, at least get this off of the.
Let's see.
And then you can pull it up reverse.
Jeez, I got it really. It's like locked in there almost. But yeah, I mean, the stock feel on that's not too bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it's directly into the transmission. There's no like goofy linkage running somewhere like this is your trans.
Yeah.
So it improves it quite a bit more because this has like a dampening on it. The other one's like a solid mechanical feel is what you get with the reduction. So, you know, some people might not like that very mechanical click click, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't care.
I haven't met anyone.
It's like that's cool to me.
Only the frickin' BMW Germans don't like it.
You like that rubber band noodle?
Yeah, wet noodle bullcrap.
And then they include all new hardware with this for these bolts, so you're not going to actually use the new ones they give you. So there's that. You want to grab that mat, a little bit of oil on it. So now that that's all out of the way, we removed this little rubber piece right here. You can actually see what they call the perimeter housing, or something they call it. This uses 12mm. We'll see if this can actually remove those. It might not be able to, so we might have to use our other little guy here that we sell in our store to get those out. But nope. That did it. They give you Loctite in the kit, so this is pretty much a good to go kit. They give you everything you need, hardware, grease, Loctite, RVT or RTV. I always get that mixed up. So now this is interesting to get out because this is sealed. So you need like something to pry it up. So you might need your skin wedge tool maybe or something.
What are you talking about?
Because this is
Just man up, Bryce.
I'm gonna launch my finger right into this metal here.
The skin wedge isn't going to be strong enough to get that.
Yeah, they had like a pry bar, like a little flathead.
You said this was going to take 5 minutes, Bryce.
Yeah, I did. Well, I said like 10.
It only take like 10 minutes. I knew that wasn't going to be that. What you need is some man hands in here. This is where you start to cringe when I start to.
You can't see any of this stuff. So if
When I start to leverage some of this old man strength. Yeah, that's not going to be enough to get.
yeah, I tried doing that.
That's kind of pushing it.
Oh,
There you go.
well, there's like the one movement you needed.
Yeah, once the RTV or once that gasket.
Yeah.
I'm not used to being the assistant, Bryce. I'm like a world-class assistant, though. I'm not a very good lead, but.
Okay, so we got the housing off. Now it's time to clean it up so we get a nice clean mating surface for the spacer. So what I went ahead and done was grab a razor blade and take any of the old RTV off of it. So you have to scrub a little bit with the blade, but it won't get all of it off. So get something like denatured alcohol or mineral spirits, and also get some of it off on the inside that's actually on the transmission. We chose to use a wire brush to try and get some of the little bits and pieces off because it's just a real pain to get off. So we have a sonic brush that we used. In the kit they give you some black RTV, so go ahead and put a very thin line around this because you're going to want to put this on the actual original housing that you get, that you take off from your transmission, and you want to put it on the spacer that they give you in the kit. I put probably a little bit too much on here, so if you can put a little bit less, I would recommend that, but we go ahead and clean it up as it kind of goes out the sides when you put the spacer on. In the instructions, they show you putting the spacer on the transmission first. We went ahead and just decided just to put it on the housing and put the RTV on the spacer as well. So now we're going to go ahead and line up the dowels with the spacer and put our new housing assembly on the transmission, which just raises it up a little bit more so you can get that reduction in throw.
I like this watching business is way better.
You only had to get a little bit dirty. Now they got these hand threaded, you can tighten it up. Just don't go crazy. There you go. You can see a little bit of the RTV squirt out over the edges there, so should be fine. The instructions say next you want to lubricate both of these pivots, I guess. So I'm gonna get messy hands again. Get over that.
Position the half circle sections so they line up with the slots in the main pivot. So they line up with those slots there, okay? And then that large O-ring sits on that cup. So the two bolts face back, so the two on the single bolt faces front.
And this is lockout, so lockout goes this way.
So this piece goes on with the grooves lining up. O-ring fits into the groove, and then this will line up so that the flat side lines up with that. And then the two bolts face back. The front single hole faces forward. The driver's side is this flat point here.
Yeah, so this is your reverse lockout. So when you push down on the spring, it allows you to go over into reverse. So that's what that is. So like when this spacer goes on, like you can't go into reverse if you're driving normally because it won't let you. But if you push down, it'll let you go underneath that flat spot. I guess I can
just leave it on there and put it in.
Go ahead and drop this in. I might pull this out just so I could see. Okay, that's in. Have our O-ring and our little cup, whatever it's called. Like that. This goes over the top. These weren't very tight to begin with. I took them out. Feels good.
Okay, put the boot back on.
So now we're doing the
second install.
The shift well cover, which basically deletes your boot.
Oh, I don't know that I like this idea here. I should veto this. This is hot boy right here, bro.
Hot boy. Oh, it creates a better seal than a boot.
Notice how they sent me that bullcrap for my Civic. You know where that is? It's up in the attic right now.
You're collecting dust for the next 20 years. And you find it when you're 80 years old. You're like,
yeah. Like this wasn't cool then, and it's not cool now. All right, so take the Phillips screws out first. I don't know that we really need directions to do this.
I don't think so. If we were very simple people, maybe. Sometimes we are as very simple people. I don't think of this.
You've already used the directions way more than I would have, so.
It's gone pretty well, though. It hasn't been too bad.
Well, it was going well until we're getting all hot boy here. Taking out a perfectly good looking shift boot. Okay, so now go back in the car.
It's supposed to go well with the kit.
I'm sure it's great.
And if not, then I'll get the Mazda Alcantara shift boot that they sell from Mazda.
I like that, yeah.
But
Okay, so put that little black thing in there and jam it in that grommet rubber centering thingamajig. Something doesn't seem right.
yeah, they like changed the design. It looks like it used to have like a 2 walls. It seems like they
so
changed
that
it.
spring.
Because it squishes it is what it does when this goes on. It
Yeah.
pushes that down, and there's a felt liner on here. It goes on there.
Okay, so do that, and then now we take our assembly and put it over top. First, you got to put your center console back on, though.
Yeah, it goes back there. You have to put this little hook down here on the side through your e-brake boot. So remember to do that. Clip in the front, clip in the rear. This piece will go back in.
Is there no set? There's no set screw, is there? So.
No, this tightens.
All right, I like it. I think it looks pretty good.
I do like their older one though. It had like it would match your gears all the way, but I guess they got rid of that one. I would probably change this though. Like smooth or aluminum.
Let me do some power shifting here.
Got the power shifting.
Yeah, some big guy, little car. Oh yeah, I like it. Yeah, I don't know if I love that whole plastic thing, or I think it's gonna drive you crazy.
I'd rather try and make some out of like aluminum or something, because it's just a plate, you know. I bet I could. Or maybe I can get them to do it.
I think you're gonna put your shift boot back on.
I might. We'll see how it turns out. Luckily, it's pretty easy to swap in and out, but
I think it's kind of cool. It's just nice and clean.
Well, I guess your hex is straight. From
Oh,
out
it's like
here,
a little-
from out here, from where it looks crooked, doesn't it? Doesn't it look like it's facing that way?
yeah, I think it's because it's so big
Yeah.
over the whole top of the knob.
You know, from where you're at, it looks like it's pointing this way.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, are you gonna put that on straight, or are you gonna leave it crooked? I like those little. So that's where the little rubber O-rings went down here on the shift knob.
Yeah. I was wondering where they went. Like, I was reading the instructions, like, there's so many O-rings in here.
That's a wrap.
Yep.
10-minute install.
Yeah, I told you, 10 minutes. Easy.
Or like an hour and 10 minutes.
RTV was a challenge. So we got the shifter all installed. It was actually pretty easy. They give you a complete kit at CravenSpeed. Everything you need to get it done besides, I don't know, a metal scraper, but I hope you have that yourself. The feeling of the shifter, it's very much more mechanical than the stock one. The stock one was great from factory, but this just really has like a solid click to it when you shift in. You can really feel the notchiness of it. It's probably just a little bit louder, but I mean, it's a fully mechanical shifter now. There's no dampening, nothing in it. So Matt kind of made a joke about the shift well. He's kind of like, this is something I wish I kind of vetoed because it looks a little hot boy, but I think it looks pretty cool. So that's pretty much the install for the CravenSpeed short shifter for the ND Miata. I really do like it, and if you're looking for one, check this one out.